guys. I gotta get it.
Yeah, you do.
Brian. Oh. Knock it in, babe. Oh, man. So I had cheese sticks for lunch. I had a cherry Coke and a large pizza today. Really enjoying my bulk because, you know, it's ending soon. Yeah, 2 pieces left. And I had McDonald's last night, as you saw in that cheese stick box. But now I'm about to have hot pot, so I got some pork belly, some ribeye, some tofu, some meatballs, some fish cakes, watercress, mushrooms, and this I've been eating since I was a baby or a little kid with my family. Some Taiwanese barbecue sauce. It's so good. And then we got the spicy Szechuan soup boiling right now. Now we got the meat in the bowl. Just dip it in the sauce. Got it all put in the bowl. Going in on this. It's my day off, so I gotta do some errands today. Gotta go to Scott Trade, make a little deposit, and now I'm going to my chiropractor so I can show y'all what my neck looks like and get my neck aligned real quick. Stay tuned. Chiropractor.
Right.
All right, yeah.
This is an A to P cervical view of a patient. You'll notice there's a little bit of a scoliosis, but it's not a true scoliosis, just a bend, a lateral bend to the right. The alignment is a little bit off. Lower cervicals, the lower neck bones are rotated. These are spinous process. Typically in this type of view, they're in the center. And in this one, you'll notice they're off to the left. This is the right side. A little bit off to the left here, a little bit here. And as we go a little bit higher in the neck, they start to go back toward the middle. But I tell patients, if this is an eye, and that's an eye, and that's the nose, you want the nose to be in the middle. So we're going to give this guy a frown. He's not happy.
Oh, man.
Now let's switch out films. And let's go to the lateral or the side view we took. Typically in this view, we're looking for disc spaces. Also what they call a cervical curve. Typically there's a curve, a lordotic curve that goes backwards like this. And you'll see in this patient's case, he's actually got almost a reversal. It goes up and comes anterior forward from this area. He's also got a slightly anterior weight bearing of the head, but also he's got some degeneration going on, early degeneration of the level 2, 3, 4, 5, between 5 and 6, with a little bit of a, that's a bone that never formed properly. And that's all.
Awesome. My doctor just comped my visit. I just got a line real quick. Took only about 5-10 minutes. And I was able to get that x-ray for y'all to see. So my neck's just messed up. It's from using my phone, looking down, looking at laptops apparently. Definitely go to the chiropractor if you work out a lot. You know, it's good to see what your neck structure is like, because when you bench heavy weight and you're pressing your head down on the bench so hard, it definitely over time will restructure your neck vertebrae, so just be cautious. It's coming to the end of winter. It's already spring, so now we are trying to get shredded, you know, trying to get cut, let them abs show, you know, because we're planning on going out and taking the shirts off, you know, playing sports or whatever. So I'm been on my bulk right now. I'm not gonna discontinue my bulk until the end of April, but I understand most of you are probably trying to get a little cut right now. I mean, if you're trying to get big, don't disrupt your plans of bulking, you know, just bulk through the summer, you know, because the longer you bulk, the better. Most people, they bulk for 1 week and then they start cutting for 1 week. You know, it doesn't really work like that. You need to do everything to an extreme. So if you want to cut, then you cut for 4 months. If you want to bulk, then you bulk for almost a year. That's how you really get big. Honestly, if you want to get some size and it's only been the first year that you've been working out, you definitely should continue to bulk for the next 2 years, because that's when you're going to really get most of your growth, and you don't want to not take advantage of that, because you only get that once, that initial tremendous growth right when you start working out. So how do you get shredded, huh? You just do a bunch of cardio? Well, first of all, you need to be at a caloric deficit. You got to ask yourself, am I eating maintenance calories? Am I eating bulking calories? Or am I eating considered deficit calories? What are deficit calories? That's going to be any calories under 2,000. The average person should have around 2,000 calories. If you have a lot of muscle, then you probably have higher than the average amount of calorie intake needed for the day, correct? So let's base it off 2,000. So if 2,000 is the average daily balance, then you need to bring that below that. If you're a small guy, then you probably need to be eating around 1,600. You just really have to test the waters. If you're not losing weight fast enough, then just drop it down by a little bit, just like 10% or so per week, so you can track the difference that your adjustments are making. Okay, so this is how I track my macros when I'm cutting. Let's say I'm doing 1,800 calories and I want to sustain muscle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat at least 170 grams of protein to 180 grams of protein, because I want to keep as much muscle as I can while I cut down for summer. So I currently weigh 175 pounds, so I'm going to be eating around 170 grams of protein, because I know I can get down to 163 pounds when I'm fully cut. So 170 is actually overshooting. So if you have a lot of fat on your body, you should adjust it to what you think you should be weighing when you lose all that fat. Let's say you have around 10 pounds of fat, so you would just do 10 grams of protein less. So now that we've got the protein figured out, we need fat now. So what amount of fat do you need to be eating? Well, 1,800 calories, the way it works is there's not that many calories to work with, and fat is actually multiplied by 9. So how many calories is in 1 gram of fat? You have 9 calories. Protein is 4, and carbs is 4 as well. So it's really easy to remember. Just remember that fat is 9. So since we don't have many calories to work with, we're only going to eat 40 grams of fat, 40 to 50 grams of fat. Okay, but now we have 2 parts of the equation. What do we have left? So it's really easy to figure out your macros. Just figure out how much protein you need, figure out how much fat you're going to need, and that's usually pretty constant, around 40 to 60 grams of fat, and then do the math and figure out your carbs. I drew this out for y'all, so it might be better for you to understand. So we got 170 grams of protein, 40 grams of fat, and how many carbs do we need? Okay, so I did the math real quick, and I just took 170 times 4, which is 680 calories, and then I took 40 times 9, which is 360 calories, and then I added those two amounts up and got 1040, and then you take 1800, subtract 1040, and then you're left with 760 calories. And then you take 760, divide it by 4, and then you get the total of 190 grams of carbs. It's really easy figuring out your macros. And like I said, if the results aren't working for you, take close attention to what your progress is every week. And if you're gaining weight or losing weight, adjust the calories so it goes the direction that you want. Now, if you're eating 150 grams of calories because you only weigh 150 pounds, then that means you can eat more carbs. And if you're gaining weight with the carbs, then decrease the carbs and eat a little more fat. But it really all comes down to this. It's, are you organized? Are you keeping track of how much you're eating? And you're not accidentally exceeding the amount of calories you're taking in. Make sure you're doing enough cardio. When I start cutting, I'm going to be doing cardio almost every day. I'm going to take this really seriously, try to make a 1 month progress video or 1 month transformation video for y'all, and really try to cut down real quick. So I'm just going to skip everything. I'm just going to start doing 1800 calories. I'm not going to take it easy and bring it from 2600 and all the way down to 1700. I'm just going to start eating low anyway, because intermittent fasting, it's made for eating for a caloric deficit. It's freaking hard to eat 1800 calories. I'm serious. When I was eating 3000, 3400 calories, holy shit, I was putting a lot of effort in it. Don't tell me that I didn't want to quit at around 2600 calories. This is very difficult stuff to do. And if you've tried it, you know. So it's not hard for me to cut, and I'm going to cut down in 1 month, I know it, but I'm going to do my cardio because it's going to speed up the process. Even though you're eating at a caloric deficit and you're working out and everything, are you burning enough calories? An extra 100, 200, 300 calories burnt on the treadmill or the elliptical or the bike, just at a constant speed, for 30, 20 minutes, you are going to increase the progress of the cutting phase. But you don't want to scare yourself away. You don't have to do that high intensity training, where you're sprinting and everything. I definitely don't like to do that, and it really scares me from wanting to do cardio when I did do that. Shit, I could start doing 1800 calories today because sometimes my appetite isn't the best, and sometimes I'm not always eating 3000 calories. Like, when you're cutting and you have a cheat meal, well, when I'm bulking and intermittent fasting, sometimes I don't hit surplus. Sometimes I only hit right below maintenance, and that's only 1 day out of 7 days a week. So same with cutting. If you're only cheating 1 time a week, sure, you're hindering your progress, but still, it's not going to affect it if 6 out of 7 days a week you're eating 1800 calories or caloric deficit. And guys, you got to keep the intensity high. You have to hit the gym frequently, 4 to 5 times a week. You want to get results, right? If you just started working out, okay, and you only work out 3 times a week for 45 minutes, that is not nearly enough time. You have to find out the right intensity for yourself. Are you pushing yourself to the limit? You want to get intense. You want to sweat. You want to be the one with the sweat going all the way down the shirt. Mix all that up with a caloric deficit, 3 times a week cardio for 20 to 30 minutes, and then an intense weightlifting exercise 4 to 5 times a week. You're definitely going to get results fast. And don't lie to yourself. Don't have a few snacks here and there and don't put them in MyFitnessPal. I'm going to be honest, guys, it's not rocket science. The main objective is to figure out if you're at a caloric deficit. If you're at a caloric deficit, does your body start to lose fat and does your weight start to decrease? When you're at a caloric surplus, do you start gaining fat but you build more muscle? So when you're shredding or cutting, you are going to lose muscle mass. So the most important part of cutting is to cut responsibly and to keep your protein high and still have a carb intake to maintain your muscle mass, because you want to look full and well developed and have good looking mature muscle when you're completely shredded of all your fat. So if you have a little bit of fat on you, this is the way it works, all right? You weren't originally always fat, or if you have been for a while, it has taken a while to get all that fat on you. So if the intermittent fasting and the calorie deficit isn't really working for you, you need to add cardio. You need to be patient. You need to realize that it has taken some time for you to get that weight on, and it's going to take some time to get it off. Some food items that you guys can eat are chicken, you got tilapia, you got top sirloin steak, any roast or round, like a pork round or a beef round. These are all very low fat cuts of meat. Once you have your meat figured out, just like I do my macros, I figure out the proteins first and then the fats, I know how much fat I can have, and then I figure out the carbs. The way I eat is I eat all my protein first and then I worry about my carbs. So now that I've eaten my selections of meat, now I just eat my carbs. So usually I'll eat what? Rice, bagels, English muffins. You can have wheat thins, Triscuits. These are all going to fit the if it fits your macros way of dialing in your calories. It's actually very simple, and everybody should keep it simple because you don't have that many calories to work with. Are you doing cardio or are you not doing cardio? Are you cheating too hard on the weekends? You know, you have to take all this into consideration. Are you drinking too much alcohol? Alcohol plays a huge role in fat gain. Are you stressed out? Cortisol is a chemical that your body produces when you're stressed out, and now that will create fat or prevent muscle growth. But you have to take all this into consideration when you're not getting your results, and then you have to adjust. You have to take matters into your own hand and figure out what you're missing, what you're doing wrong, or what you can do. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Chris, but I like to say what's up to everybody, and I appreciate your support. What's up, all the new viewers? I'm getting new subscribers every day, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the support, and I would love to answer your questions in the future. Just leave them in the comment section below, and I'll try to make a video just like this one.